Hello there guys and welcome back to another live review on my channel. After a few days, the next pre-season game of Chelsea. Lampard's second game in charge of Chelsea, really, unofficially anyway, in pre-season. And we finally got our first win, which is of course good. And today we won 4-0 against St. Patrick's Athletic. A very awful name to put into the title of a YouTube video because you're never sure. Do I spell it with the dot, like after the Saint thing? Do I spell it St. Patrick? Do I spell it St. Patrick's? Do I spell it St. Patrick's Athletic? It's a madness. It's not great. But yeah, we're here for the review. And it was a very, very interesting game. And Frank Lampard is doing some fun things, some really fun things for us fans. So yeah, I hope you are enjoying it. Well, I'm most certainly enjoying it. And I hope you're looking forward to the review. If you are here, please do subscribe. If you're new here, of course, please do subscribe to my channel. That would be greatly appreciated. Also, drop a like on this video. That'd be cool too. And of course, once this live stream has turned into a video, leave me your thoughts on the game down in the comment section below. Let me just pop out the chat. So I actually know what you lot are saying. But if you are, watching my stream for the first time, I will only get to your questions and stuff from the chat after I've basically run through my review of the game. So basically just listen to me now and stick around until I'm basically done with what I have to say. And then I will basically answer everything that you guys want me to talk about. So yeah, that is that. Lana, I'm going to mention that. A lot of sideways passing. Well, it's kind of what you get when wait, my light is flickering. Let me just fix that. It's kind of what you get when you play against a very defensive team. Where are we watching these friendly matches? Well, you just have to know what you're doing. It's called Google and YouTube. But yeah, let's get into it. And of course, I say of course, we did again have to. Can my light stop flickering, please? For goodness sake. Are you serious? Jesus Christ. Pissing me off. Do you know what I mean? Not you. We had, of course, basically, again, we had two formations again, two completely different formations, and also complete lineups, like 11 different players for each half, I guess. And in the first half, we started off with Caballero in goal, Zappacosta as the right back, Emerson as the left back, centre back two of Tomori and David Luiz, a midfield of Jorginho as the basically regista, you could almost say, as the holding mid anyway. Mason Mount, Mateo Kovacic, and Ross Barkley, and then the front two of Tammy Abraham and Michy Batshuayi in a 4-4-2 diamond or 4-1-2-1-2, whichever you want to call it. It's literally the same thing. 4-1-2-1-2 is kind of a FIFA thing. That's basically what FIFA called it back in the day. It used to be called the 4-4-2 diamond. That's what I know it as. You basically have a holding mid. You have two wide central midfielders, but they don't actually play wide. They're still central midfielders, but they're not in the middle. They're just a bit wide. Yeah, you should know what I mean. And then you have a number 10 behind the two strikers. And that was a very interesting formation. Not a formation that I'm too familiar with. Of course, I've seen it used before, but never a formation that I've particularly analyzed in depth. So it is interesting for me. And, it worked well today. It was really fun to watch. There was a lot of fluidity to, in today's game within our team. It was, honestly, I'm about to murder my light. I'm telling you guys, I'm about to murder it if it doesn't stop flickering right now. Not even joking, like, Jesus. Anyway, yeah, no, it was good to watch. Honestly, I'm going mental here. Usually, like, when it starts flickering, it stops after, like, turn it on and off a couple of times. But now it's actually going mental. Yeah, I do apologize. But yeah, I enjoyed the game. I mean, it took us a couple of minutes to get into it. But then the first half was just great to watch. So much fluidity, so much movement. Players would go left, right, and centre. It was absolutely great. And there were a lot of standout performances in that first half, I thought. Generally today, there were a lot of good performances. But in the first half especially, I mean, you can mention the defenders, all of Tomori and David Luiz looked decent. David Luiz, a lot of good passing as well, looked very controlled. Zappacosta was all right. Emerson got himself a goal, which was, of course, good. Yeah, they did all right. The midfield was just really interesting. I mean, Jorginho, again, for me, had a really good performance. He did what he was meant to do. He controlled the play. He knew where to pass. He never, really put a foot wrong. He had a couple of interceptions as well when St. Patrick's tried to hit us on the counter. A good performance. And then you had the two wide, I guess, central midfielders in Mason Mount and Mateo Kovacic, which was really interesting. So dynamic. They don't have the pace of wingers, but they're both just so dynamic. And then Ross Barkley, he hit the post. He forced the keeper to do, into a few saves. But I thought he was the quietest out of the midfielders, the less, like, the least impressive, I guess. Then the front two of Tammy Abraham, Michy Batshuayi. Tammy, got a lot less chances than Michy, but I don't think that's to do with him not playing as well. You know, he had a lot of good touches, but he seemed to feed Batshuayi more than he seemed to, find himself in front of goal a lot, because Batshuayi, had a couple of chances, hit the post, forced a couple of decent saves by the goalkeeper, could have done better with a couple of other moments in a couple of other situations as well. But generally, Batshuayi, he really looks like a striker that wants to be number one. That wants to be number one. Whether we end up playing with two up front or one up front, who knows? Because then it's a lot less difficult to be the starting striker anyway. My light is still flickering. I'm going mental, lads. I'm going mental. Anyway, continuing on. Batshuayi really looks like he really wants to be the starting striker, working really hard. He seemed to get a little bit frustrated when he just couldn't score. And then he turned a bit selfish, which he shouldn't do, but it is understandable, especially in preseason when you are fighting for the striker spot. It is understandable that the striker turns slightly selfish, especially a young striker like him that has been shipped out on loan a couple of times that really, really is desperate to impress. So it is understandable. It's not something I'm going to hold against him, because I prefer that over Olivier Giroud, who I've seen so many times not go for goal, but rather lay it off when he should just shoot. And I'd rather want my striker to go for a goal and try to score than, be overcomplicated. But, really can't criticize Olivier Giroud today because he scored two, but he's played in the second half and he got both goals in the second half. But yeah, now we made it 1-0. Let me just get the other thing up. We made it 1-0, I think, in the 14th minute through Mason Mount. That was a lovely goal. That was a lovely goal. Jorginho had the ball in the middle, played it to Mateo Kovacic, who found a really good, just through ball opportunity to Mason Mount, who made a great movement towards the edge of the box, just about staying onside. And then as Kovacic went to play the pass, Mount just moved forward, controlled it really well, and then just slotted it past the keeper with a really good finish as well. Great goal. That's exactly what I want to see. That's exactly the movement that I don't get from Ross Barkley, which is why I don't like Ross Barkley that much. It kind of took Mason Mount 40 minutes to prove to me that he's better than Ross Barkley. They didn't play in the same position. They played both at the same time, but still Mason Mount just looked better. He just looks better to me. That doesn't mean that Ross Barkley doesn't have any qualities, but Mason Mount just looks better to me. And Kovacic, that kind of end product is what I'm looking for. Please do that more. He scored 2 overhead kicks in training the other day. So that kind of thing, those kind of passes, mate. And, he had like 1 or 2 shots that he put way over and way wide. Don't do that so much. More like scoring and more like assisting. That I love. And, the first half, complete domination, of course. St. Pat's didn't really do anything, to be honest. Like, it was not like the game a couple of days ago against Bohemians, but they had quite a few chances and arguably maybe not deserved their draw, but, it wasn't like the complete disgrace of football for them to get that draw. But today, it was kind of a disgrace that we didn't score 2 digits of goals because we had so many chances, like really good chances. It was quite mental. But yeah, getting back to the formation, 4-1-2-1-2, 4-4-2 diamond. Interesting, really, really interesting. A lot of people say, that's kind of what they want to see. It just makes me worry for our fullbacks a little bit because it just feels like they have too much responsibility out wide against the top team. So before I'm going to make a complete judgment of how I like the formation, because today it looked really good, I want to see it used against a better opposition. But that is still in pre-season, which I'm sure it will be used again as well. But also in the Premier League or whatever. Like, I want to see it used again, and then I will make my full judgment against, a proper opposition. Because again, like Bohemian, St. Patrick's isn't a fully professional football team. Like, to play in the Irish League, my light is still flickering. It is not quite the opposition that we're going to come up against throughout the season. So, we have to kind of take it with a pinch of salt because, like I say, it's not the same thing. But yeah, then of course, we scored another goal for Emerson, which is a very weird goal. Like, we were kind of in and around the box, tried to score, but then they just crowded the box. We just had to pass backwards, and then Ross Barkley turned around and just gave it to Emerson, and Emerson just shot. And the keeper just really didn't do well and kind of just, he had got a touch on it, but didn't get enough on it, and it still went in from Emerson's shot from a decent angle. It was a decent shot, and he, got it on target with a decent amount of power on it, but any decent goalkeeper saves that. But, we'll take it, of course, and it was 2-0. And, of course, I spoke about chances. We hit the post, Batshuayi hit the bar, Barkley hit the post. We had plenty of chances. We could have been 4-5-6-0 up at halftime, quite frankly. And then coming to the second half, we, like I said, changed the whole 11 and also changed formation. We went back to the 4-2-3-1, which is the formation that we started the game against Bohemians with. Not exactly the same way that we played in it, because it was, Bakayoko was very central, and Billy Gilmour moved very much so to the right after Litwad in the second half. So I'd have to watch it again. The problem was with the game, the camera was really close to the pitch, so I struggled quite a bit to you only saw like a tiny amount of the pitch at once. So it was kind of difficult to really see how the team was structured, because the camera obviously only ever followed the ball, and then, the shape of the formation is kind of pulled apart. But the formation in the second half was again Jamie Cumming, rather than, Kepa, even though of course he has been around since Monday. Azpilicueta started right back this time rather than a centre back, like it was on Wednesday. Azpilicueta, I just mentioned him. Andreas Christensen finally, played his first game of pre-season. Kurt Zouma was next to him, and Marcos Alonso also played his first game as the left back. Then, like I said, Bakayoko and Billy Gilmour, were the two holding mids, the double pivot. But with Bakayoko certainly being the more defensive of the two, and Billy Gilmour having a really good game, and I am going to mention him in a bit. Then Pedro played on the right. Casey Palmer this time played down the middle, and Kennedy, rather than a left back like in the last game, played on the left wing, with Olivier Giroud starting up front. Now, a few things before I talk about the game itself that I found interesting is that both Danny Drinkwater and Ethan Ampadu were not involved today. Now, there was something weird about Danny Drinkwater yesterday. It was kind of, he walked off training during training with like an officer, I guess, with security guy. And then someone asked him whether he's injured, and he said no. And he looked apparently quite like angry, or, not particularly happy anyway. Don't know what that meant. And then Ampadu, I don't know why he didn't play. You know what it felt like to me? Also, the fact that Kepa and Kante didn't feature at all. It's kind of like the ones that Lampard has already decided they will be a part of the squad anyway. They already came along. Like, they already didn't even play, because we know Kepa is going to be the first choice. He doesn't necessarily need to play, this preseason game here. It's fine to play Jamie Cumming again. And I guess it's the same for N'Golo Kanté. And I'm kind of hoping it's that for Ethan Ampadu. And I'm kind of hoping it's the opposite for Danny Drinkwater. Maybe Ampadu has also picked up a minor injury. I have no clue. He just wasn't involved today, and I don't know why. We also sent back, I think, 6 or 7 players. That included Izzy Brown, that included Lewis Baker, included Ike Akpo, and a couple of others as well. Ian Martin, who of course did very well against Bohemians. But yeah, a bit weird on the whole Ampadu and Drinkwater situation. Understandable for Kepa and Kante. I mean, I'm happy with Drinkwater, but Ampadu was a bit weird. Why wasn't he involved at all? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? But anyway, like I say, second half was a 4-2-3-1. Nowhere near as fluid. Nowhere near as, the football was nowhere near as good, but we scored the exact same amount of goals. And we arguably had the exact same amount of chances, maybe even a couple more. Arguably, I mean, Casey Palmer had 2 really good chances that he should have done a lot better with. Olivier Giroud, of course, scored his 2 goals, which I'm going to get to. But generally, going from back to front, I mean, Azpilicueta was quite decent going forward today. Actually had a couple of decent crosses. Both Kurt Zouma and Andreas Christensen, I can't really fault today at all. Alonso, just not as good as Emerson on the ball, quite frankly, not even as good as Ian Martin. He has, of course, other qualities in shooting and his height and his physique, and just, I guess, positioning in the final third. He kind of knows where to be. Otherwise, he wouldn't score as many clutch goals as he has done for us. But defensively, and especially just on the ball, the way he handles it is just not that good. And that's not necessarily a criticism, you're not good enough on Alonso. It's just the way he was trained, like the Chelsea Academy players and like the more, flary players, a bit like Emerson, they just play that way, and that's just what it is. And, I think for an offensive team, that's just a really important asset to have in your locker, I guess. Bakayoko, he's such a, like, at the start of the game, or at the start of the second half, when he started playing, of course, I was like, yeah, you're all right. You're right, you're doing a bit better than last time. But then he had a couple of moments to do, was just left for dead by, a St. Patrick's player, which I'm like, come on, Bakayoko, what are you doing? Like, someone put it on Twitter, I think it was CFC Daily, and they were like, I mean, how dead must Serie A be when he was actually playing decent here, but he can't handle it against St. Pat's? Like, it is a bit mental. Oh yeah, guys, if you're not, if you don't know my live streams, basically, I'm basically just talking through what I need to say, basically. And at the end, we're going to talk through everything that you guys say in the chat, and then we're going to talk about all of that. And of course, if you are new here, please do subscribe to my channel, drop a like. There's a lot of you watching, over 200 people again, which I really do appreciate. But be sure to drop a like. We're already, we don't even have 40 likes yet. There's over 200 people watching. Just scroll down below and please drop a like. That'd be great. And like I say, subscribe if you are new. Keeping on with it though, Billy Gilmour, great. Played really well in the last game, played really well again today, especially towards the start of the second half, when he obviously came on. Really good. Faded out a little bit as the game went on, but he's just a really good player. Like, of course, the whole, like, the Scottish Iniesta is a slight over exaggeration, I guess. But but he's still a really good player. And I really like him. I really hope that he gets to come to Japan with us. And to be honest, I think he's at that level. I'm like, give him a loan already. Give him the best possible loan that we can get. Not a stupid like League One or lower like bottom half championship loan. Give him either a top half championship loan or like a good team in Holland or Germany or whatever, or even the Premier League if possible. Though I doubt that. You know, maybe that's already the good time because he's so good. But I'm a bit worried about him, like a bit like Lewis Baker, if we loaned him to like I say, bottom half championship team or League One team, that he's just not the right kind of qualities that they need there because he's very short, quite, slim and, looks a bit weak and stuff. But his technical ability and also like positional awareness and just awareness of the game just seems absolutely spot on. Like another great performance, really happy with him. Pedro on the right wing, like I didn't mention him for the last game. He was dead last game and he was dead today. Like, I don't know what he's doing. Like, I know he's, really experienced and he doesn't necessarily need to, be all that. Are we back? I do apologize. Guys, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was my internet. That was my internet. Can you guys please? Jesus Christ. What is my internet doing? Lads, you a hoe. No, don't call me a hoe. Can you guys please tell me what is the last thing you heard? Please tell me that. Please tell me what's the last thing you heard. Then I'm going to continue on from there. That'd be good. Please tell me that in the chat. I don't know why my internet is so dead right now. Like the quality looks awful on the thingy. Bloody hell, Loz, what are you doing? Oh, Jesus. Pedro. Pedro was the last thing I heard. Oh, when someone said the loan. Well, which is it then, lad? Pedro. All right, two people said Pedro. All right, Pedro didn't play well in either against Bohemians or against All right. Either against Bohemians, not today. Of course, we know what he can do, but he still didn't play well in these last two games. Then I mentioned about Casey Palmer. That's what I was on about. Good, played all right, but we should probably loan him out anyway. I don't think there's much point in keeping him in the squad this season. Then Kennedy playing the left and certainly a lot better on the left wing than he was at left back, I thought anyway. Although it kind of makes no sense because he didn't do anything going forward at left back and he didn't do any defensively at left back. But today he did all right and he assisted the first goal of Olivier Giroud. He assisted it 3-0. So that was very interesting. And yeah, Billy Gilmore, really impressive. So the Kennedy one, still don't think he should be a part of the squad for the upcoming season, quite frankly. But I would understand if we kept him around just because we don't have wingers. Because, of course, Willian is currently not fully fit. He missed the final of the Copa America, but probably should be. Like, he's at Copa recovering, and then he will return from his holiday or whatever to start pre-season with us. Christian Pulisic is only yet to join, the squad when we go to Japan. And then we have Pedro, and then Hudson-Odoi whenever he will fully be back to, start playing, I guess. He's in training, but he's not anywhere near full training yet. So I guess we could keep Kennedy around, just have another winger. That'd be maybe decent enough, and then possibly loan him out or sell him in January, something like that. And then up front it was Olivier Giroud. And the striker situation is, of course, a difficult one. The striker situation is a really difficult one to talk about because, Batshuayi played really well. but didn't get his goal. And then kind of got a bit selfish as the game went on because he just didn't score. Tammy Abraham didn't really play like a proper striker. He played more like a second striker, helping the other player, but also did well. Had a good touch. Held it up well. Showed some pace, showed some skill, which was was good to see. And Batshuayi, his hold-up play was decent. His shooting could have been a bit better, but still was all right. But then Giroud came on, didn't play particularly well, I thought, and then out of nowhere, scored 2 goals, scored 2 great goals. I mean, I'm not saying it was awful at all, but it just didn't stand out like Batshuayi did in the first half to me anyway. Then he scored a great volley, assisted by Kennedy with a chipped cross from the left, like a really good finish that was. By Oliver Giroud on the volley, and then he made it 4-0 with it. Like, he had an even better goal. He kind of intercepted, a bad mistake by St. Patrick's, but he intercepted the ball just inside their half, and then without anyone supporting him, he just ran through basically 3 of their players and then scored from a really tight angle past the goalkeeper into the far corner. Yes, I know St. Patrick's again, and he wouldn't do that against any Premier League team, but it's still fair play for doing it. Like, I did not see him doing that, and fair play. Like, fair play, Giroud. That was a really, really good second goal. And I'm intrigued. I'm very, very intrigued. What I'm also very intrigued about is the formations we're going to use for the rest of pre-season, because now, of course, for 2 halves, we've used 4-2-3-1, but with completely different players. And then we've used 4-3-3, and then we've used 4-4-2 diamond or 4-1-2-1-2. The interesting thing is, in the 4-1-2-1-2 or the 4-4-2 diamond in the first half today is when we played the most first team players. We had David Luiz in there, we had Emerson in there. I guess Abacosta, but Aspilicueta, of course, usually plays over him. We had Jorginho, we had Kovacic, we had Mason Mount, we had Ross Barkley, we had Tammy Abraham and Michy Batshuayi. That was kind of the most that we had in any formation. I mean, yes, the second half had, Aspilicueta. I guess it had Zuma and Christensen, so it depends on what Frank Lampard does, because maybe Christensen and Zuma is actually the starting partnership at centre-back. We never know. So maybe actually it is more in the second half than it is in the first half. And then Alonso left back, which I still see Emerson, quite significantly over him. The double pivot was Bakayoko and Billy Gilmour. I don't see either of them, starting particularly many games this season, especially in the Premier League. Don't see Palmer starting any games. Don't see Kennedy starting many, if any, games. Pedro, yeah, and then Giroud, yeah. But I guess I don't know what you're on about. Salad. What is that? I mean, we're not about homophobia here, yeah. Just just nah. It's a nah for me, mate. Just nah, not about that. Yeah, Mr. Salad, just eat some salad, mate. But yeah, so that is interesting. I'm really interested to see what we're gonna do from now on in preseason, which formations we're gonna use, whether we're still gonna try things out or whatever. Whether which formations we're going to still try out, or whether we're going to stick with. Now, I've not broken lows, but I've just tried to get rid of this stupid salad gamer person. Yeah, hi football fan chat, how you doing? Gabriel is your name, is it? Jesus, guys, you need to chill out in the chat, right? Yeah, it's going to be interesting, because are we going to go with are we going to try everything out for 2 halves, or has Lampard kind of set his eyes on the 4-2-3-1? Because in my opinion, clearly the 4-1-2-1-2 or 4-4-2 diamond looked quite a bit better, more fluid and everything in the first half. I don't know. It's going to be really, really interesting to see. Of course, we go to Japan now. I think we play Barcelona on Friday. I'm not 100% sure when I'm going to be able to do a live review for that game, when I'm even going to be able to watch that game, because I might be out, might be elsewhere, because a mate of mine from England is coming over, and then we're going somewhere, and then after that we're going to Italy for a couple of days. So I'll have to wait and see for internet stuffs and whatever, whether I can actually watch the game and provide a live review for you. But I, of course, will try. Yeah, of course, like I said earlier, subscribe to my channel and all of that good stuff. And now, guys, please do ask me some questions in the chat, and I will just talk about it. Now, I didn't want to feed the troll at all. I just wanted to ban him, basically, because I don't need that in my chat, basically. Should be uptrending soon. Fascinating to see how he slots into all this information. Be good in that 10 position in the diamond played. Yeah, Mickey Hines. There's a good shout. I don't necessarily want him as a 10, but if we play that formation, then that changes everything, right? If we're going to play that and have, I don't know, Jorginho and Kovacic and Loftus-Cheek, and then maybe Pulisic in the middle of that, or maybe Willian, like depending on who does better, and then possibly even Hudson-Odoi and then 2 strikers. It's all a bit of a madness. Like, quite frankly, I didn't even consider that formation, and I'm not sure whether it's my favorite formation. I wouldn't say that yet at all, but it's just really refreshing to like see we don't even play wingers. Like, it's a bit mad, and I love it. Quite frankly, I love it. And Mason Mount, yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. His movement is good. Don't like the 31 on him. He's not Bastian Schweinsteiger, is he now? Give him a different number. But he looked good. His goal, he took it really well. Great movement. I love it. Absolutely love it. It was great. I really like the guy. He's a nice guy as well. If we do pursue forfeited diamond, how would we fit Kante, Chalobah, Hudson-Odoi, Loftus-Cheek, Mount, and Kovacic in the same team? Well, Corey, we wouldn't. we wouldn't fit all of those in the same team. That's why Mason Mount will be a backup for the time being. Hudson-Odoi would play as a 10 in that. Loftus-Cheek would play on the left as the left, number 8, I guess. And, you think Kante as the right number 8 just to provide a bit more defensive stability. And then Jorginho as the pivot of that. And then, you kind of rotate Kovacic with Pulisic or Hudson-Odoi to that extent. And, either then put Kovacic as the left number 8 and move Loftus-Cheek into the 10. Kind of move it that way around, if that makes sense. So, it's obviously rotation. You can't play all of them in the same team, but you can't do that in any midfield. Like, it's as simple as that. When is Pulisic coming? He will join the squad when we go to Japan. This is why we wanted Sarri out. Right. So far we don't actually know that. And one of the formations Lampard has played is the exact same that Lampard played. What are you going to do for streaming when Google Hangouts dies? I don't know yet. Haven't figured that out. But I will find a way, my friend. I will find a way. Yes, flexibility, bro. Flexibility. Yeah, flexibility is good, but so far we've drawn against Bohemians and beaten St. Patrick's amateur side. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here, right? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Well, he should be. Jorginho should be a starter in the next season at the time. Bloody should be. So where do you sit in Salzburg? Well, depending on tomorrow, on Monday, if I get away end tickets, which I do expect, I will sit in the away end. And are you coming? Are you like from Austria? Are you from Germany? Where are you from? Or are you from England and actually going to the game? Random question. Who's my celebrity crush? I don't know. So go with Kaylee Coco ever since I was young. I don't know, Big Bang Theory and that. You're from Vienna. Do I know you? Where did I know you? Message me on Instagram and Twitter or whatever. I'm going to make you part of the Austrian Supporters Club and that, mate. Obviously, you have to be part of that. Of course, mate. Unless you're Simon and I know you. See, my G, Corey. My G. Lovely. Yeah, message me on Instagram or Twitter, Smoddy, and we'll just figure something out because, how the hell do I not know you then if you're from Vienna? You should be part of the supporters club and all the good stuff. Anyway, right, guys, I think I've been going for quite a little while, and I think I'm going to leave it there. Let's do 2 more questions from you guys, and then we're going to leave it there. I'm Lampard in all the way, but I give it 6 months before Lampard is sacked. Nah, I doubt it. I doubt it, mate. Do you think we should play 3 at the back so we can choke our midfield? Someone said that in the comments or in the chat of the last stream, and personally, I just really don't think so. I just really personally do not think so. That 3 at the back is a good option. No, sorry, mate. I just don't. Oxlade, John Spencer. I guess John Spencer for the goal that he scored in Austria when we played against Austria Vienna. I say for that because scored in Austria, I guess. Because I'm not going to pretend to remember it because it was in 1997, 1998, one of them. But I don't know. It's just what stands out, and I didn't see either of them properly. I'm not old enough, am I? Can we sign anyone in January? Not for the time being, but the decision by the CAS, by the Court of Arbitration for Sport, hasn't arrived yet. So I guess we'll don't know for sure yet. Who's your favorite Chelsea player is going to be the last question of the day, and that is by far and out Ruben Loftus-Cheek because he's great. Yeah, my favorite player. Who's the best Chelsea player now that has left? Actually, I'm gonna think about that for a second now. I think ability-wise, it's Ruben Loftus-Cheek, but because he's not fully there yet and with his injury and whatever, it's N'Golo Conte. But it's always very difficult to compare like attackers, midfielders, defenders, and goalkeepers. You could argue Kepa, you could argue David Luiz, but I think Kante is the one. And then Ruben Loftus-Cheek, then you have someone like Jorginho there as well. But yeah, guys, I am going to leave it there again. As a massive thank you for watching. Of course, you know, still over 200 people watching. Really do appreciate it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That would be like I say. You know, I don't say this as a joke. I actually mean it would be massively appreciated if you would subscribe. Drop a like on the video. We're still on 67 likes and there's over 200 people of you watching. So please do subscribe. Drop a like, and, you know, leave me your thoughts down in the comment section below once this live stream has turned into a video. And yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to see you guys soon. Like I said, I can't promise that I will be able to provide a match review for the Barcelona game, but I will be doing some sort of video next week. I promise you, probably on Tuesday, I will be doing some sort of video. Don't know exactly what yet. Probably in like, you know, just talking about a lot of things, formations, tactics, which players I want to, you know, take to Japan or whatever, unless we have that confirmed by then, you know, which we probably will do actually, or my reaction to that, I guess. There will be a video on Tuesday on my channel, proper video, not a live stream. But yeah, so I'm going to see you then. But of course, like I say, subscribe, do all the good stuff, drop a like, up the Chelsea, upwards and onwards, even though we won today, and I usually only say that when we lose or draw. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you when I see you. Actually, no, I'll see you on Tuesday.